Hello there and welcome again. What do Khalil Gibran, Charles Dickens, and Aristotle have in common? Come on, think. Think a little. Can't think of anything? Well, yes, difficult it is to guess what can bind these three. For Gibran was a Lebanese American writer, whereas Aristotle was a Greek philosopher, and Dickens was an English writer. In fact, the greatest novelist of the Victorian era. What can these three possibly have in common? Well, they all staunchly believed in the eternal wisdom that nothing under the sun ever happened in vain, that nothing we do or is ever done is in vain. Even seemingly insignificant actions have far reaching impacts, and that everything has a purpose or consequence, and nothing is truly wasted or without effect. And all three of them, though they lived at different times in different countries, they believed in this truth. Many of us have lately begun to wonder of what use this will be, or what purpose will this or that serve. Why should I be sincere, or why should I work hard, or why should I bother? Towards what purpose? Even those of us who were staunch believers in the principle of karma are flinching, wondering, is all this goodness worth it? If all the sincere efforts towards some goal, are they worth it? Can't blame anybody. There are overwhelming experiences these days occurring all over which naturally make us question of what use is this or that going to be. Let us listen to what this grandpa had to say when doubts on why to do this or that had just begun to enter his grandson's cute little heart. Once upon a time, there lived a grandfather who was very fond of his 10-year-old grandson. Theirs was a large, happy family, but the bond which these two shared was a very special one. The grandfather was a scholar who had formerly been a teacher in a school. He loved to read and write and wanted his grandson too to develop a passion for reading books. The grandfather used to wake up early in the morning and read from his collection of wise books, while the little boy used to admire his grandfather from a distance. He too wanted to do all the things which his grandfather did, but whenever he himself tried reading something, he would soon lose his interest and lament that something was probably not right with him, and he was therefore unable to sustain interest in a book for long. Dadu, what shall I do? I want to read. I want to be like you. But whenever I try reading something, I feel it is of no use because I never remember anything for long, and sometimes I don't even understand most of it. How will I become like you? He asked his grandfather one day. The grandfather at that moment was holding a coal basket in his hands. He heard his grandson and said nothing for a few seconds. After a while, he patted his head and told him, "My dear boy, go to the river and fetch me water in this basket." The little boy took the basket and ran to the river. He filled the basket with water, but by the time he reached home, the water had leaked out. He felt sad and showed the empty basket to his grandfather. "No problem. Go to the river once again and get me this basket full of water. Try to hurry up a little this time," said the grandfather. The little boy once again ran to the river and filled the basket with water and ran home as fast as he could, carrying the basket. Yet, when he reached home, the basket was empty. The little boy was crestfallen. The grandfather was persistent though. He told him to try once again, and then again, and again. The grandson ran every time to the river and tried to carefully bring water in the basket, but every time he tried, the outcome was the same. The grandson was soon very tired. Panting heavily, he said, "Dadu, this basket gets empty by the time I reach home. Shall I get you a bucket full of water, please?" No, my dear boy, I want this cold basket full of water. Go and try again, and try harder this time, replied the grandfather warmly. The boy ran again and filled the basket with water, and holding it carefully with both hands, he walked as fast as he could, but the water still got leaked and the basket was empty. See, Dadu, it is useless. No matter how hard I try, the basket gets empty by the time I reach home, groaned the tired little boy. The grandfather looked up at the innocent face of his favorite child and smiled lovingly. Son, you think it is useless, but take a look at the basket from inside, said the grandfather. The boy held up the basket and saw that it was gleaming, sparkling from inside and outside. The stains of coal were all gone. Isn't it clean and sparkling? Well, this is what happens when you read books. You may think that you will not remember or understand much, or you will not retain anything, and it is of no use, but you must nevertheless read. You will not know when and how the words will simply clean you inside and out. You will shine and sparkle just as the basket does now because it has been dipped in water repeatedly. The wide eyed little boy leapt in wonder and joy and hugged his grandfather lovingly. The story ends here, and yes, a pause must follow. Everything somehow, sometime comes back. No thought, no action is just nothing. Everything has some meaning, some cause, and some effect somewhere at some time. As someone has beautifully said, every action of our lives touches on some chord that will vibrate in eternity. Thank you.